What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players played at the IEM in Katowice. Spawning here in the bottom right hand corner of Cyber Forest LE, playing with the red Zerg pieces, we have none other than Scarlett. And her opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Protoss pieces, we have none other than Deer. So guys and girls, this game and this series in particular was played at the IEM in Katowice and was one of the games within the group stages of that tournament. And this is Group D, so it's a best of 3 series. And you've got Scarlett and Deer, two players who are a lot of fun to watch. I know Scarlett is a fan favorite to many. People absolutely love Scarlett as you know, just her different types of builds, and she is a great StarCraft 2 pro gamer to say the least. And Deer, this is a guy who's actually gotten, you know, he's a really good Protoss player over time. You know, he has improved substantially since I first started watching and following his work as a pro gamer. But nonetheless, it should be a pretty fun matchup between these two players, as we're going to see here in the early stages of the game. We're going to be seeing Deer going for that gateway into the natural nexus, followed up by the cybernetics core. And then on the upside of the map, it looks like Scarlett going to go ahead and get that quick hatchery out, or that natural hatchery, followed by that spawning pool, and then of course that gas geyser. We're going to see her go for the quick third hatchery at this point in the game. We're going to see a probe has made its way across the map for Deer, just trying to get some good, you know, so a little bit of some information as far as any kinds of timings that are going on. But we are going to see Scarlett has made her way across the map with that Overlord. We're going to see an Adept that's going to be coming out of the gateway, and then we are going to see the Warp Gate is being researched, which is the most standard upgrade for a Protoss player. And then in the main base location, we're going to see Deer creating a Stargate. So far, pretty standard. Nothing too crazy out of either player as of yet. We are going to see the Zergling speed upgrade coming in, metabolic boost, most standard upgrade for a Zerg player. We're going to be seeing the Adept is making its way across the map. Queen is going to be right here to kind of try to deal with it if she can. Adept decides not to shade in to that main base, but is trying to get a little bit of that scouting information, which is very crucial against someone like Scarlett, who a lot of times will try to, you know, she does go for some cheese sometimes, but she also goes for, you know, some timing attacks quite often. She's very good at spreading creep, so you definitely want to keep a handle on that at all times. Third hatchery is finished. We are going to see the natural nexus is completed for Deer. Going to see another gateway, or actually another 2 gateways coming in. We're going to be seeing the tech of choice out of that Stargate. We're going to be seeing the Oracle coming in. Metabolic boost is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds. Warp Gate is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds as well. Creep spread is already well on its way. We're pushing 4 minutes into this match, and one thing that Scarlett loves to do is really get that creep spread out and moving onto the map. That definitely helps, of course, with really seeing any types of movement across the map. Gives her that, of course, that vision. We're going to see some Zerglings are going to be moving across the map, and this is something that Scarlett tends to do quite often. She will run, you know, really just try to get a lot of information across the map. Now we do see a handful of Adepts are moving across the map. We are going to see now Scarlett is scrambling. She's trying to get a good position here on this, but as the Shaden's going to be coming into that main base location, I'm wondering how much damage could end up happening if he decides. It does not look like he is going to shade in to that main base location, but trying to do a little bit of some damage. Beautiful play here so far by Deer, getting a ton of value out of these Adepts, and then he just shades right on out of there. Beautiful play there by Deer. Early stages of this game, keeping Scarlett a little bit on her toes, as we're going to be seeing the follow-up here, which is going to be the Twilight Council, as well as the robotics facility. now we see somewhat of what Scarlett is deciding to do. She's going to start moving across the map with a handful, or I should say a good amount of Zerglings. Looks like she is going to start trying to do a little bit of some damage at this third Nexus location. Getting this round on these Adepts, and she could probably do a little bit of some damage here. Looks like some of those are going to go down. Almost all of them do. There are 2 that do survive. But it does look like Scarlett is going to back off, at least at this point. Smartly played there. But a good little counter to that attack by Deer, trying to do a little bit of some damage. I do think that Deer still got the better of Scarlett there in that first engagement. We're going to be seeing Charge being researched out of the Twilight Council. We're going to be seeing the Immortals coming out of that robotics facility. And so now we're starting to see kind of what both players are deciding to do here as we are approaching that 6-minute mark in this game. I'm going to be seeing once again these Zerglings are trying to see the timing, not necessarily the timing, but want to see if there's any other probes that they can maybe snipe or nibble away at as they're running around. But Scarlett, one thing that she does so well is, like I said, just getting getting scouting information, but also spreading that creep spread. I mean, we can already tell that she's already about halfway across the map here at this pushing that 6.5-minute mark. Roaches are coming out now, which is the follow-up. We're going to be seeing the infestation pick coming in as well for Scarlett. And so, like I said, the things that Scarlett does really well is push that creep spread as much as possible. Now, Deer is getting some nice scouting information as well with the Oracles as well as the Phoenix. So I gotta say, at this point in the game, it feels like it's pretty even as far as everything considered. It feels relatively even on both ends. I would have to say I like the engagement early on by Deer, but I don't think that's going to phase Scarlett whatsoever. Scarlett is going to go right back into her normal build here. Glad Constitution's finishing up, and that Charge finished up as well for those Zealots. And so, as we're starting to, kind of move into, the mid-game here, we're going to be seeing Psionic Storm finishing up in less than 10 seconds for Deer. And it looks like his unit composition is primarily, he's got some Adepts, he's got some Zealots out on the map as well. Got those Oracles flying around with the Phoenix as well. And then we're going to be seeing those the High Templar are going to be coming in as well. So, very interesting decision-making by both of these players, as we're going to see these Oracles are going to continue moving around. And they are, just kind of getting some information, trying to keep tabs on where these armies are at all times. Putting down a little stasis ward here. Knowing that there's probably going to be a little push here at some point or another. So a slight lull in the game. We do see the follow-up is going to be some of these Swarm Hosts, and I like that decision actually quite a bit out of Scarlett. Going for those Swarm Hosts. Now I don't believe. Okay, it does look like Deer has found out about this. He does see that the Swarm Hosts are out on the playing field, and it does look like here we go. Deer has been playing this thing absolutely beautifully. Here come the Locusts, but man, they are going to get shut down before they're even able to get started. This is turning into an absolute disaster by Scarlett, who just cannot get an angle, and her supply is so heavy in these Roaches as well as the Swarm Host. Here we go. Deer, once again, is going to try to be the one causing the issue at this point. Do not want to overextend here, as Scarlett's trying to kind of move those Swarm Host into a better position. But it does look like there's a lot of units here that are going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Now, there's more and more Ravagers that are going to be coming onto the playing field at this time, as we do see those Archons as well as those High Templar are starting to do some damage. But the Locusts are coming in. Can they get the proper connections on this army? Doesn't feel like this army is actually that big, but man, they're hitting some beautiful storms by Deer. I just don't know if there's actually quite enough here. I feel like Scarlett would be in such a good position if she wasn't tied up with all of these Swarm Hosts. But here we go. Those Locusts are trying to make their way down. Beautiful storms once again on all of these units. Is there enough here, though, for Scarlett to do crippling amounts of damage. I just don't know at this point, as more and more roaches are being added to the fight here. Here we go. We are going to see 10 more roaches on that production tab. And it does look like Deer is trying to get into a position that works best for him. I just don't know if he's going a little bit kind of too far on creep, it feels like. But man, starting to clear out some of these units. Do not want to lose these Swarmos by any stretch of the imagination. Trying to surround her opponent right now is Scarlett, and it looks like that's exactly what she's going to be able to do. Beautiful positioning here on all these units, and it looks like just like that, she's able to dwindle this army into a small shell of itself, as more and more reinforcements are going to be coming in now for Scarlett. And Deer has now found himself into a tight situation, as more and more of these locusts are going to be landing on these units. Not doing a ton of damage, but really starting to hurt some of these units, and it just feels like Scarlett is slowly pushing Deer into a corner, as we are going to see a counterattack of a couple of immortal drops going on in that fourth base location. It looks like Scarlett is not phased whatsoever by this, because she is focused on taking out this third nexus of her opponent. Here it comes, because it looks like she's going to start moving into a couple of directions at once, as she's going to try to break down the front gates of that main base location. Do not want to overextend, however. Scarlett is in a really nice position. More and more locusts are going to be coming out here. They are starting to do a little bit of some damage, taking out unit after unit. But is there an overextension here by Scarlett? I don't know. More and more zealots are going to be joining in on the fight as well. Man, this fight is going on right now between these two. Neither player wants to break at this point. As we are, as we're gonna, looks like Scarlett is just kind of waiting it out. Ground carapace level 1 is going to be finished up in less than 10 seconds. And these locusts are really keeping the Protoss player at bay. But I just wonder if this is just a little bit of an overextension, as more and more roaches are joining in on the fight here. These immortals are really doing a lot of damage to the roaches, but man, Scarlett is just pushing and pushing. Deer supply is absolutely plummeting. Could this be it? Could Scarlett take a quick 1-0 lead over her opponent, as it looks like the floodgates have now opened and all of the swarm is swarming in on that natural nexus? Beautiful play. GG is called, and Scarlett takes a quick 1-0 lead over her opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Scarlett and Deer, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in game number 2.